This massive day for Manchester United. Sorry about that little image at the start there. I have got some footage of what happened with the press conference. That's what we're going to be talking about on this match day. More than the match probably, but we do want to talk about football because it is important, obviously. But yes, Ruben Amorim has been speaking to the media last night after Sporting's 3-1 win. We're going to get into that. It's going to bring up some quotes and footage from that game. What are your thoughts on Amorim now, everybody? Do you feel confident he's going to be in for Chelsea? I'm going to talk about that, what Romano has said as well, what's happening with the staff again, who is actually coming in definitely, and everybody else's opinion on this now, because there's a load of journalists now who have gone in on this and actually give their opinion on what they think is actually happening. So the dust has settled from the initial news that was broke, and we're getting into everything past that. But the important thing is that Amorim has spoken now and clarified what is going on. So the important thing with what's happening now, I feel, is the compensation factor. And I think that's what everything is being discussed. But first of all, welcome along to the show, everybody. Please make sure you have subscribed as well. If you love United, then you just subscribe to this channel. And you can get involved in the live chat as well, of which I want loads of comments coming in this morning. So let's get around to it, everybody, shall we? And yes, what did Amorim actually say in that press conference yesterday? Well, I'm going to let you know right now. Let's get a little clip of what Amorim actually did talk about yesterday after asked about Manchester United and that imminent move.
Sum up where we are with the Manchester United move.
We have to wait a little bit more to explain everything I need to explain.
The compensation fee has been agreed, so it's now your decision, I guess.
Yes, that's what I said. That's it.
How long?
I don't know.
Will you be in the dugout at Old Trafford on Sunday?
I will be here.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Pretty much saying it as it is. You can tell he's nervous. You can tell it's an awkward moment for him. You can tell that Amorim really didn't want to be speaking in front of all of the sporting media, in front of all of the Portuguese media and everything. It is that awkward moment in football when you know what's happening, you know what's coming, and you just want to get on with it and get it done. Unfortunately for him, a press conference and the game was there. He had to obviously talk. More media from around Europe were at this press conference, and the obvious questions have now been asked, and we are waiting for things to happen. Amorim there pretty much saying it's just going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take a tiny little bit more time. Then he can sort of go through everything that's happening. He can give more details on everything. But as far as we know, we are completely up to date from what happened last night. There are a few more bits that have come out regarding what's happening compensation-wise and why we haven't moved on any further. I feel like Amorim cannot say anything yet, obviously, because the compensation clearly has not been agreed. So, what's happening with the compensation, and why are Manchester United not finalising everything right now? Well, what's happening is, apparently, according to a few sources and a few people within the media, is that Sporting are hanging out for compensation for the backroom staff, which we spoke about yesterday, which will follow Ruben Amorim over to Manchester United. So the three staff that's coming with him are obviously employed by Sporting, and I don't know if there is any, or if this is a normal scenario, or what's actually, if this has actually happened before. Do the supporting staff that come with the manager need to be paid out by the club that's taking them as well as employing them? It's a weird scenario, but really I don't think it's ever been brought up before. I think it's only being spoken about now because this is massive news, and this is Manchester United. This is probably something that was, like with many deals in the summer, when we got loads of details about what was going on and the ins and outs of these deals that were happening in the transfer window. We only really find out about it because we're so invested into Manchester United. But when it is Manchester United, more stories come out and more reports come out. We basically get milked. And by that, I mean the media just take absolutely every single column inch, every single bit of media space that they possibly can out of a situation. So if people are actually looking at this now, and I know that it can spin the fan base, this, I feel. People talking about, within the media, about Manchester United having to pay more compensation for staff, then leads into the conversation of, well, we've already got Ruud van Nistelrooy, why are we spending more money? INEOS can't do their job, they're costing us a fortune, this is all coming out of the money and the funds that we could be spending on investing in the squad in the January transfer window. You know all that conversation's coming. And you know that people will use this as a chance to have a dig at INEOS. All I'm saying on this is the compensation for the staff is probably something that happens majority of the time. If you're taking a manager and 3 coaches away from a team, which by the way are 12-1, 12 wins and 1 draw after last night's win. If you're taking that away from a team a quarter of the way through the season, you're going to have to pay a little bit of a penalty. It's not so much a penalty, but compensation is the word obviously we're using. But you get where I'm going with it. So don't make a big deal out of it. The reported fee is an extra €5 million, I think, on top for them coaches. So really what we've got to take into consideration is that Manchester United right now are just doing what they have to do. And I think today we will find out how much the compensation was in total, whether or not Ruben Amorim is going to be in that dugout for Chelsea. Now, Peter Hall, who is a journalist who follows Manchester United everywhere, I've seen him at every single press conference, says that Manchester United are confident that Ruben Amorim will be in that dugout for the Chelsea game this weekend. That's bold. I feel something has to happen today if that is going to happen. I don't think that's going to be... I think that's easier said than done, personally. I don't see how we get him in that quickly unless he flies over today. Now, there were rumours last night and a few reports saying that he is flying over with them 3 members of staff that we're talking about to England today. So you would expect the conversations that Omar Berrada and Dan Ashworth and David Brailsford, who were over in Lisbon. I'm not sure if Brailsford was over in Lisbon, but Berrada and Dan Ashworth were there yesterday. I'm guessing that is Berrada negotiating all of the compensation factor and things. He is the one that balances books and is well known for that at Manchester City. So I'm guessing that is what was happening yesterday, and I feel like right now we're just at a stage where it's them final little details, which is what Amorim was talking about. He joked about the Chelsea game, as you've seen in the press conference coverage there, saying, look, I will be here on Sunday. Is that 100%? The reporter asked. I don't know. He's a bit of a joker and I think he was trying to make light of the situation, and I think the journalist did well to sort of soften the blow a little bit there and joking around a little bit. There's more to that where he sort of teed him up as to, I was going to ask you about your tactics in this game. I'm only joking. Really, I just want to know about Man United. And he laughed it off and he joked. He understands the situation we're in. The press conference that he had the other day, when we weren't even at the stage we're at now, or anywhere near even in being talked about, he was speaking like, look, I knew this question was coming. So we know that these conversations have been going on for a long, long time now with Ruben Amorim. And I think he's just prepared himself. And that's how we've seen that press conference, I feel. I feel like he's just accepted that there's going to be an absolute onslaught. And he's about to step into the lion's den. And I think he's just trying to just laugh it off. He doesn't want to be talking about United with all of the upset that's going on at Sporting, with everything that's happening. We've seen pictures yesterday of fans crying outside the stadium. Some players apparently are not happy. The atmosphere is cold within Sporting. They have not been impressed how Manchester United have come in and tried to take 4 members of their staff away at such a pivotal stage of the season, like I just mentioned. And obviously, they're looking to get as much money out of this as possible, because Manchester United are one of 8 clubs that had the opportunity to buy out Ruben Amorim's contract at that cheaper price of 8.3 million. We was one of them teams. So good work from the agent, smart work from Amorim and his team, being able to do that and give him the opportunity to move on as quick as possible to a decent club. So that's all in place. Obviously, Sporting then are just trying to get what they can. And like I said before, they are just trying to milk Manchester United for everything that they possibly can. And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? That's what you've got to say. I mean, it's clear as day. Look, if you are going to be absolutely rinsed like Manchester United are doing right now to Sporting, you have to get something out of it. It's not a lot, and INEOS just need to pay it and get on with this. I think that's what everybody's hoping for right now. And a lot of people are saying that they will do. It's just a formality. Into the chat we go quickly. Super chats in from John. Thank you for that. Says, I hope he plays a 3-4-3. I'm going to be discussing that more later on this week in a special video with a special guest as well in that show. So make sure you tuned in. That's probably going to be airing around about Friday. So make sure that you are subscribed. By the way, if you aren't, please do. You can get involved in the chat. But we're only, 10 away, I think, or something like that now. I think it is 10 from hitting that 61,000 subscriber mark. We could get that while we're live this morning, in fact. So please do subscribe, everybody. Get involved in the chat. You got Roz has done that. He has given me a super chat. Thank you, mate. Sporting paid to get him out of his Braga contract. Bet they are unhappy by they couldn't get the compensation higher knowing this would happen. They did pay a lot of money. They really did. But the report, let's just go through the actual reports on what's been said. So Ebola are the ones that have reported the compensation situation. Not so much situation, but standoff where we're at right now. Not even standoff. Shut up, Adam. But the amicable conversations that are going on. Let's just call it that. In addition to the 10 million release clause, that's euros, for Ruben Amorim, Sporting want another 5 million for Manchester United for the coaching staff that will also move, plus an extra fee so the move can happen immediately. So, onto that, I didn't pick up on that a minute ago, that extra little bit, and this is from Ebola, the Portuguese publication, who have been reporting this from the get-go. They are saying there's an extra fee on top of the compensation that they're negotiating now with Manchester United to make this happen now. So where they actually, again, there's no point in even going into detail on that. That is just a club that's being fleeced, like I said, of 4 key members of their staff and a very successful team quarter of the way through the season. They're going to try and just slap Manchester United for as much as they can. This all comes down to now a similar situation to Dan Ashworth. We touched on this last night, but this is in season. Are United comfortable enough to wait it out for Ruben Amorim and have Ruud in situ and just see out the next few games while they get this done? They can't really play hardball like they did with Dan Ashworth for that compensation. They won that one, but we haven't got time right now. The situation is a lot different, and obviously we have to act a lot more hastily, I would say. I mean, you've got to move this forward quickly, I think, now, just to get Amorim in. The upset is there within Sporting. It's awkward for him as a manager. You want to make Amorim feel like you are desperately in need of him and you want him and you're doing everything you can to get him into Manchester United at this stage. They can't afford, I don't think, INEOS, to let this drag on now. I think something has to happen this week. And I feel like that is the approach from the team, from the football club. I think they're trying to make it look like they're doing everything possible. And Sporting are playing their part. Negotiations will happen, but both sides know that they need to come to an agreement quite quickly. Because there's the upset from the Sporting side, and United need a bleeding manager. So, well, these are all going on, and it may take a little bit more time, like Amorim alluded to in his press conference reaction there. I still feel like this will be amicably resolved by the end of this week. I just really wanted Amorim in a press conference on Friday, and we could hear what he had to say. You could see there just his bubbly nature. Awkward situation, really bad, in a football club that he's already told he's leaving. The fans are all outside in bits, gutted that he's leaving. The staff, the players, and he's having to talk about Sporting's game and then Manchester United. I feel sorry for him a little bit. Not really because he's coming to United, but obviously in that one little situation, you have to say that was quite awkward for Amorim. But still, this is what happens. He actually goes on, Amorim, to talk about this, and he says, "Look, in terms of moving on and what happens," he said it was the same. Look, in football, it's not ideal. You upset a lot of people, but this is football. This is what happens. You have to just accept it and move on. And I feel like that was an important line from Amorim. And I feel like that coming from his mouth is what every Manchester United fan wanted to hear. Pep Guardiola has actually been talking about Amorim as well. And how he started off at Barcelona. So it is big news. It spreads like wildfire whenever anything with Manchester United is involved. So, like I said a minute ago, it is just a case of Manchester United trying to get this done as quickly as possible and get back to football. That's the key thing in all of this right now, and I feel like that's what they're trying to get to, but obviously you've got the Sporting side of things. Let's get into a bit of your chat regarding where we're actually at and everything that was said. Good morning to everyone who is just joining us. If you are playing catch up later on, hello to you as well. Please do get your comments in the comment section below and let me know what you feel about the situation right now. We are going to talk about the game as well a little bit later on in this show. Cuban says, we're discussing a new start and people are still running agendas in the chat. Unbelievable. We got to move on, people. We got to move on. Well said, Cuban. You can clearly see now the Sir Alex situation was a power play move all along. A message to Erik ten Hag and the players that if you don't match the INEOS direction, you are expendable and you are out. I don't think they would have used Sir Alex in that way. I think it's sort of like a stature thing. Maybe, yeah, look, if Sir Alex can go, anybody can go. I think they are trying to make sure that the players above anybody else know the situation right now. And this is what I was saying yesterday. It's an interesting chat there. Thanks for that, Barefeets. But I don't think they've used Sir Alex that way. But in a way, they've sort of just set the tone. This new manager coming in is an INEOS man. That's the difference this time. It's not another man on the conveyor belt of Manchester United managers. I've had so many messages and comments come in over the last 48 hours saying, yep, see you in 2 years, you won't be laughing then. Let's see if Adam's slagging off this manager as soon as it starts going wrong again. You won't be getting any bad mouthing from me or asking for a manager to be leaving until at least 2 years in. I've said this all along. I'll give a manager 2 years, I'll give a player 2 years. It's the same. You look back at all my content and how I see things. If Ruben Amorim is not making it happen in 2 years, then the same discussions are going to be going on again. A manager needs to make an impact. And I would sack managers every 2 years if it wasn't working, till we find the right system. You have to do this. People don't want to talk about it. People want to just be in this sort of mode, oh no, I'm a proper fan. I'm a fan that doesn't want to get rid of managers. I'm a fan that's loyal to the manager all the way to the end. Well, yeah, you go and watch your shit football then. But the reality is, football's changed. Managers are dispensable unless they are good at what they do. If you are not good enough, you leave. It's the same with players. People talking about blaming the players like it's different to blaming the manager. No, it's not. You're a member of staff. You're employed by the football club. If you're not doing your job, out the door. It's as simple as that. It will be the same in 2 years for Amorim. I'm excited because I think he's approaching it differently. I think he is a different type of manager. Yeah, I may be proved wrong in time, and it may go wrong for Amorim. But right now, I'm going to give him every bit of chance that the other managers coming through the door have had. And that's what will be happening now. Hopefully, he sees this as an opportunity to prove that a football structure works at a big club like Manchester United, and they are going to give him the support when it comes to that player power situation. Ten Hag got all the support in the world from Manchester United, and some. More than any other manager post Sir Alex Ferguson, and he blew it. He absolutely blew it. Let's see what Amorim does, and let's see how we go on from here. That's basically where I'm at with how fans are approaching me right now, saying that this is just the same old crap. It is so far away from the same situation that United have been dealing with for the last decade. Million miles away. I don't care what anybody says to me, and this is just my personal opinion. Again, you may think differently, which is why we open the chat up and the comments to everyone, but in response to that, I just don't see it that way. And that is, for me, the biggest positive in this. Sam says, take time out to see the amount of atrocious misses committed by Garnacho alone this season, and then tell me who sacked Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag sacked himself, Sam. Let's not go there blaming players about misses. Let's talk about Ten Hag's misses, about not playing Ahmad, about not using Agate, about playing Mazraoui at 10. About saying that we don't even think about the Spurs game, and about not having players prepared, not being able to defend set pieces or set up. Why do we never score from set pieces? All of this, like seriously, you're gonna blame Garnacho for Ten Hag being sacked? I think Amorim will change the captaincy. It's a really interesting conversation, that one. It's not for now. There is something coming up on that. I'm going to be doing that this week. I want to make sure when it's all official and we know that Amorim's going to be coming in, we're going to be talking in a different way. Right now, it's just a necessities, is it? Of getting this deal over the line, and we're talking about that right now. But still, It's going to be exciting to see what happens on that. And I think everybody's intrigued right now. Morning, Adam. I'm happy that we got this guy so quickly. I'm very pleased I didn't wake up to a video clip of Southgate playing the piano. I think a lot of people were happy that it wasn't Southgate. And we did go down that road of getting the best that we possibly could. Greetings from Lara, Australia. Thanks for continuing to stand up for Manchester United standards against the toxic top red culture. I haven't felt so upbeat in a long time. Bowling Gaz, a pleasure, mate. Always. That's what you'll always get on this channel. And when I say we do things differently here, we don't flip-flop. We stand by our words. People who come on are honest. People who come on are brutally honest. And that's what this channel is all about. And I will stand up and take the L if I'm wrong. I knew I wasn't wrong about Ten Hag. I seen it coming. He had his chance, and I just wasn't willing to accept that second season where he said that we overperformed in that first season. You cannot say that. You cannot tell these players that they didn't deserve to win that Carabao Cup and finish third. It wasn't an overachievement. These players are good enough. They're all internationals. And they deserve to be third in the league and winning that Carabao Cup. To absolutely disregard that as an excuse to cover up the shit that we had last season, not having it. That is scraping the barrel for me, and that's what I don't like. Excuses, none. Accountability is key in football, and the biggest thing, take your losses, accept your losses, and learn from them. He didn't. Reality. Erik ten Hag should have been sacked last December when we came bottom of the Champions League group. He's been given loads of time to turn this around, and this manager probably will as well. It'll actually be interesting to see how INEOS act with their man. This is a completely new era and a new page, and it goes back a little bit to what we're saying again. I don't want to go over myself again and say, look, this isn't the same old as it's been the last 10 years, but going to be interesting to see what INEOS do with their man. Like, to not have Wilcox on board with Ten Hag, the issues that were going on there behind the scenes, to now have everybody on the same page and not just Ten Hag lying to us saying that everyone is on the same page at Manchester United in the direction that they're going, because he got sacked, so that really wasn't right. It'll be interesting now what happens from this point. I feel like this is the I think this is the important bit in all of this. It's INEOS's manager. And it's INEOS's fresh start now. That's why I wanted to talk about it in that way today. It is a fresh start in more ways than one. Yeah, new manager, but INEOS is first, is the biggest part in all of this. We'll keep you up to date with all of the news as it comes out. If anything breaks this morning while we're on, we'll talk about that as well. Cheers for all of the comments coming in as well. Keep them flying in, everybody. We've got plenty of time to discuss everything that's going on right now. Some people were talking yesterday about this guy, actually, Amorim, that is being turned down by West Ham. No, what he wasn't. It was basically West Ham again, like they did with Mazraoui, weren't willing to pay the compensation fees. Simple as that. Sullivan didn't want to pay the buyout, basically, the compensation that United are paying now for Ruben Amorim in the summer. Amorim himself has come out and apologised to sporting fans, saying it was a bad judgment, a bad call, he shouldn't have done it, and held his hands up. Accountability. Again, I'll go into this. This is what I like about the character of this manager. There is fresh content coming out, something completely different on this situation, a special video later on today. It'll be around about lunchtime, so make sure that you're ready for that one, everybody. Like I said, content is going to be jam-packed today simply because it's match day tonight as well, and obviously we've got all of the build-up, the road trip, and then we've got all of the action outside of Old Trafford. There's going to be some opinions flying tonight, so make sure that you are tuned in for straight after the game. We're going to be talking outside while we're making that draw for the quarter-final as well. Hopefully United are in it. Let's not disregard Leicester just off. Like we're going to smash them tonight, but we are going to kill Leicester tonight. It's going to be a great atmosphere at Old Trafford. I can't wait to get there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, so make sure that you are tuned in later on tonight as well. Mark the loss that we will surely take in Anthony will only be offset by the profits on Rashford. Sell both of them, give Ahmad a chance. Going to be interesting how the summer goes, because we haven't got a lot of money by all accounts. They're the reports that are flying around right now, and I feel like you have to do, again, I mean, seriously, it just annoys you, doesn't it, that Ten Hag has had all this money, and then the next manager coming in is going to have to deal with the mess that he left in terms of where we are in the league and not have as much money, because INEOS backed Ten Hag so much. Was that a mistake from INEOS? I don't know. By the way, we just hit 61,000 subscribers live. Yes, another live landmark. Thank you, everybody. 61k on the road to 70 now. Let's get them going up. Make sure you give the video a like and subscribed, everyone. Thank you so much. Absolutely buzzing with that. 61 in the bag. Let's go. Next target. It's exciting. INEOS have made good changes since taking control from the Glazers. If Erik ten Hag won, he would still be here. I think he was out of his depth. He didn't win, and the club is moving on. That was a super chat from You Got Ross. Yes, exactly that, You Got Ross. He didn't perform, and he got all the backing. Hopefully, Amorim gets exactly the same amount of backing as Ten Hag did. I think that's important for INEOS to remember as well. And I think a lot of fans will hold them accountable for this. If he doesn't get the backing, then they're all going to be asking the same question, aren't they? Why? And then the blame will go on to INEOS, because they're the ones that blew all the money in backing Ten Hag. And really, you could have been giving quarter of a billion transfer kitty to Amorim if you actually made the call in the summer. And that's what a lot of fans will say. So I think there's a lot of fans right now ready to give Amorim a little bit of time in this, because he is coming in after the melee that was Ten Hag. But don't get me wrong with this. Like, Amorim needs to be getting performances, and this season as well. Questions are going to start to be asked. He will get the time, and I won't be going in on Amorim if he doesn't get a certain point this season right now. But if I'm going to be honest with you right now, and you ask me, Amorim comes in, where do I expect Manchester United to be at the end of this season? Top 4. I'm sticking to it. There's no excuse for me. There's absolutely no excuse. You can tell me that we've got a long way to go. Look at these players. Look where we are. Look, we have been atrocious in a season when other clubs and other teams have been starting and failing as well. And we are not miles off it, but we are way down where we should be, where we shouldn't be, even when everybody has been so inconsistent above us. You only have to look at Chelsea, Villa not been fantastic at certain games. You're looking at Newcastle. All of these teams that are finishing above us that we've got to get over. Spurs, look, there's 4 teams there that haven't been fully at it for one reason or another this season. And we are, we're 7 points off Aston Villa, who are in 4th, 6 off Chelsea, who are in 5th. And I just feel like this team is good enough to be in the top 4. I think we can mount a challenge. I just knew that the way that Ten Hag was mismanaging, it was never going to happen with him. I've always believed in this squad, and people who've said, and I said this yesterday, people who come up and say, look, it's the players, we need to get rid of the players. Look, you're not going to get rid of the players now. This season is this season. These players are good enough to get Manchester United in that top 4. The majority have done it already. It's not the same players that were there year gone year who have been the Player FC mob. It's the total change right now. So let's just remember that. I think that's important. Super chat in from Greg. Congrats on 61k, guys. Deserved. Thank you. Loads of people have subscribed over the last few days. That's because we just bring you the news in our own way. That's what it's all about, people. Let's just break it down, cut through the crap, and get right down to the nitty-gritty. There is a great tweet that went out, just quickly, because I want to move on to the game tonight and how we're actually going to play. But going to be interesting how we actually do play. And there's a really important tweet that went out on a report as to why Amorim didn't take the Liverpool job. Liverpool weren't willing to play the 3 at the back. They didn't want to do it. And this, apparently, according to reports, was why Amorim wasn't taken by Liverpool. They decided to go down another avenue. But one thing for certain on this is that when he does come in, Amorim is going to be a different kettle of fish altogether for Manchester United. Just look at this stat here on the screen now. This was a great one that Sky put up the other day. Highest defensive lines in major European leagues 2023, 2024. So how high up the pitch they are. Look where United are. 54th. God damn, man. But look at the Portuguese effect at the top of that table. Now, you can talk about City. Everyone expects City to be there because they are a dominant possession side in European football right now. But look at the Portuguese. Look at all of them there. Benfica, Porto and Sporting. It is embedded in them that you play this way. And Sporting being 4th. And just compare that to like where Manchester United are. Right, we're nearly 4 metres down on where they are in terms of their line. Can you just put 4 metres into the equation, just break it down on its own? It's quite a big distance. That's definitely not getting bowled on VAR. You're clear as day there, aren't you, going through on goal? But that is key for me. I think that's a great stat right there as to where and how Sporting actually play. Have United got the defence to do it? How are we going to set up? Really interesting. Like I said, I've got specials on this. It's probably going to be out on Friday. Don't forget the other content that's coming up today as well, at midday as well, guys. But yeah, on Friday, we're probably going to be looking at more of this. I just want to make sure that, when you know it's happening. Like, obviously, we've had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Everything is in place. We know from the way that he was talking in his press conference, Ruben Amorim, that it's all going to be happening. But still... You just want to hear the official. He's in Old Trafford. He's sat in that press conference room. That's all I want. That's all I want to be talking about right now. And then I can move on to the tactical side of things. I think that's important to remember as well. Like, he's still not here. And I want to give Ruud van Nistelrooy his time tonight, which is why I want to move on to the game. I just looked at what's available for Van Nistelrooy tonight in terms of the team. Going to be really interesting, and this is going to give us great insight into how he thought Erik ten Hag was handling this squad. I think the starting lineup tonight will be probably the most intriguing that we've seen in years at Manchester United. Our players we thought that should have been playing going to be in the starting lineup tonight. Is the favourites FC tag going to be clear for everybody to see that Ten Hag was using while he was Manchester United manager? Are we going to see Ahmad tonight? I think it's going to be the best opportunity for Van Nistelrooy to adhere to the Manchester United faithful, because it's an easy one tonight for him. It's the Carabao Cup, and players probably need a rest ahead of a big game against Chelsea. So I do believe that Ahmad will play tonight. I really do think he will be playing. It's not necessarily going to be because he feels like he should have and he just wants to make his mark and show Ten Hag he was wrong. I don't think so. I think it will be through rotation reasons alone. A lot of people will jump onto the fact that Ahmad's in the side. Van Nistelrooy, one game and he already seen sense. Just, no, I don't think it is. Like, just calm it on that side of things, I feel. I don't think that it's going to be because of that. I think it is going to be because, one, he did well when he came in against West Ham. And two, he's not played for 6 weeks. So I think he's the perfect player to bring in when you need to rest players for weekend. The bigger question will be whether he keeps his spot in the side for the game against Chelsea on Sunday, and who starts in that front three. It could be Amorim's front three. It could be Van Nistelrooy's. Will Van Nistelrooy change shape completely? Or will he do what Ten Hag has done? Because he doesn't play the way that Ten Hag plays. If you look at his time at PSV, I'm sure many people have seen the Ruud van Nistelrooy interview where he's got the tactics board in front of him and he's moving pieces. And in that, he was explaining his system and how Jarrad Branthwaite works within that system as him being the quick defender that covered. So basically, like what Liverpool do with the one-on-one defending, they trust their defenders to be able to compete and beat the attacker that they're up against. They trust them defenders, and that is a risk for the reward of playing more players further forward in a higher press. You need a quick, strong, dynamic, maybe, yes, experience, I would say, as well, defender at the back, which was strange how he trusted in Branthwaite with him still being young. And obviously this was before he came to the fore at Everton. He went on loan to PSV, so that's how Ruud plays. He plays with that one-on-one defending style at PSV, giving more space to other players around them, and then obviously being able to push more players forward. Amorim pushes 6 players permanently forward all of the time in a full-on rotation forward system where they completely swap from wide to middle to drop off to 10 to 8. It's crazy to see, but when you look at all of the details of how Amorim actually sets his team up, it's not the same as what Van Nistelrooy was, but the high line, I think, is what Van Nistelrooy will implement. We have got the perfect, or what I thought, the perfect goalkeeper to play that sweeper keeper and be that extra cover. I really did think that's what was going to be happening when Andre Onana came through the door. I thought we needed a change from David De Gea. We made the right choice. Onana was known for playing sweeper keeper. It was the right choice for me, but it just didn't work. It didn't work. Let's just see what else we've got coming out in the news as well. By the way, get your team in for tonight. Who starts? Is there anybody, actually, to make it simple, from the starting lineup that we had against West Ham at weekend, who doesn't start? Who gets replaced for you in this game tonight against Leicester for Van Nistelrooy? That's all I want to know. Please do get them. Oh, someone's just put the full team in there, so yeah. Onana, Dalot, Licha, De Ligt, Mazraoui, Garnacho, Agati, Mainu, Ahmad, Xerxes, Hoyland. Right. 4-4-2 tonight. Right, okay. Well, Mainu is injured. He cannot play. So forget that, Mark. Licha, De Ligt, Dalot. I think he's going to rest a few of these players for the Chelsea game. Although saying that, it's going to be interesting because Chelsea have got Newcastle tonight as well. So their Carabao Cup game is being played similar time to ours. So both teams in the same boat, which is good. And both teams actually needing to rest certain players, maybe, just to get through the tie. So we'll see how Chelsea approach their game as well. But let's just have a quick look through all of the headlines to make sure we haven't missed out on anything this morning. It's a lot of quotes from Pep Guardiola. But that one there from Peter Hall is at the top at the moment as one of the latest ones. Peter Hall being the Manchester United journalist who says the club is very confident that Ruben Amorim will be in place for the game this weekend against Chelsea. Crucial. Just to go back to that press conference as well, everyone. If you didn't hear it before and you have just joined the show, I'll play it again now. This is what Ruben Amorim actually said in his press conference last night after Sporting won their game 3-1.
Sum up where we are with the Manchester United move.
We have to wait a little bit more to explain everything I need to explain.
The compensation fee has been agreed, so it's now your decision, I guess.
Yes, that's what I said. That's it.
How long?
I don't know.
Will you be in the dugout at Old Trafford on Sunday?
I will be here.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I think what comes across from that is like what Fabrizio Romano said yesterday about him being really excited about the project, really looking forward to taking on the Manchester United challenge. And I think that's how it comes across there. There's a happy man. He's sad inside because he's having to deal with the sporting side of things, but he actually said himself, he said, look, this is what happened at Braga. He didn't want to leave Braga. There was many people upset and we moved. It's just football. You just get on with it. He understands. So there's no worry about him not coming to Manchester United. We know that he's coming. It's just a time thing. And like Amorim said there in his press conference last night, he says, just have to wait a little bit longer and I will come out and say everything I need to say. He knows where we're at. It's pretty much in line with what the reports are saying. Compensations have been agreed. We're now dealing with the staff, which is why everyone has gone down the staff road, and which is why I wanted to say this morning. But Fabrizio Romano on the staff side of things as well, everybody has said that Ruud van Nistelrooy, Rennie Haak, the staff at Manchester United currently at the moment, they will be leaving Manchester United when Ruben Amorim steps foot through the door at Old Trafford. So that's what Fabrizio Romano has said on his own YouTube channel as well. Let's get into some more comments on this. Give me your thoughts, everybody. Get into the chat right now, please. Please do subscribe so you can get involved in the live chat as well. Loving the amount of subscribers that have jumped on board this morning alone. Thank you so much. Let the players run wild first, says Stephen. Adam, where are you on Onana these days? He's had a good season, Jonathan. He's had a very good season. I cannot really fault. Since I absolutely slaughtered him, he's been brilliant. And you know what? He's one of the players that kept Ten Hag in a job for longer than what he should have been. He really is. He has made some crucial saves this season. Like, he kept us, after all the domination against Crystal Palace, he kept us in a point in that game. He kept us in a point against Porto because he made some crucial saves on one-on-ones. I want him to play sweeper-keeper, though. If Amorim's going to come in, Onana is going to be key. He needs to get out of his bleeding box. I feel like this was a big thing with United that I've always had an issue with. We bring players in because of a certain attribute and a way that they're playing from at another football club. And then as soon as they come in, we try and change them. We try and change them into something else. Let them be what they are. You clearly got to bring in a player for what he's doing at that other club. That's why you're attracted to him in the first place. So why has Andre Onana not been off his line? Why has he not been coming out of his box? There are better sweeper keepers out there. You look at Emi Martinez, obviously the best keeper in the world, and I agree with that. I think he is. Obviously, you can look at David Raya as well. He's another one that's up there right now. And I think Oblak as well. I do like him as a keeper. Courtois, maybe, yeah, but never afraid to come out off their line. Never afraid to come out the box. You need to play sweeper-keeper these days. Aston Villa's line. We all know Aston Villa's line. We all know how Spurs play. City, Arsenal, Liverpool. There's a key thing here. There's a key sort of like pattern going on. Like, all of them teams are all above Manchester United. We are just stuck in our ways. And you know what? Yes, people will bring up Maguire, slow. Lindelof, slow. De Ligt, slow. We haven't got fast defenders. We can't play this line, Adam. We can't go like the other teams. We haven't got the team for it. Well, in the summer, we're going to lose Evans. We're going to lose Lindelof. We're going to lose Maguire. We are going to have to buy in a few defenders this summer. It's going to have to be the necessary action. Unfortunately, we do need forwards, but I think we do need cover at the back. We're going to have to invest heavily in defence again. We have got defenders there, don't get me wrong. Like, right now, what have we got? We've got De Ligt, we've got Martinez, and we've got Euro. They're the main guys. I don't see any of the other three staying. I don't think Evans can carry on again. I'm not saying he can't, and he's... I always get stuck between Evans sounding disrespectful to him and actually just accepting where he is and his age. We do need to move forward, but Evans has been brilliant. So, yeah, let's just put it down to Man United are going to lose defenders this summer. We need to invest a lot into that defence. Compare the team inherited by earlier managers and this time, as well as new structure. Will it make a difference in terms of what Amorim is inheriting right now with the structure? I think it will make a difference, yes. I think that's vital. I think we have spoken about that quite a bit in this show alone. Onana has been one of the better performers this season. It seems his good work goes unnoticed. No, Jinx F, look, I've had to hold my hand up and take the L on Onana this season. He has shown me and put me in my place a few times. And like I said, I think he's been key for Erik ten Hag this season. He has had a good season. I'm not gonna try and squirm my way out of this just because I had a big opinion on him. He has proved me wrong so far. Let's see if we can carry on that way. 17 Dragons United has agreed fees before for players reported and will still didn't sign them. Deals can be reconsidered before being signed off as completed, and once signed it is announced. As in, this might not happen. I doubt it. I think this is all set in stone and is all done now, to be honest. I don't see it not going through. I really don't. So, yeah, you're right. It can still fall through and things can might not happen, but with everything that's out there right now, with everything that's going on, I can't see this not going through right now. But we will see, won't we? We will see. In terms of Ruud van Nistelrooy, well, this is his big night tonight. This is the one. The crowd's going to be chanting. I'm gutted, like I said in last night's video. I don't want Ruud to be leaving, but it's a necessary for the way that football works. He goes, we move on. No drama. Sad, but let's just look at the reality of Amorim needing his own team in. And if he wants to proceed and he wants to be successful at Manchester United, you have to trust what he wants. He comes with his team. It's the same with any manager situation. They all bring their own men. They all bring their own people to the party. And then we go on from there. And that's what it's going to be. That is what it is going to be. That is everything done. That is you fully updated, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Great comments. Thank you for the super chats. Mods and members, brilliant. Absolutely superb. Love the comments in there tonight and looking after the chat. You all did a fantastic job. Let's just look forward to tonight now. More content coming at midday. Then we'll obviously have the build up to the game and everything coming later. Please do hit that subscribe button as well. If you love United, hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button is right here for people who are tuning in later on. And watch my video on Ruben van Nistelrooy and where we stand with him that was out last night as well. But that is us all finished, everybody. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you.